Good Friday evening. Welcome to Midwest Sports Net. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. We're going to be talking about volleyball tonight, NAIA volleyball in particular. And the 22-23 athletic year has gotten underway. Lots of things going on. We're going to be talking about volleyball in the NAIA, talking about top 15 volleyball in particular, and only a couple of teams that are still undefeated. So we have that on the docket for tonight. A little bit later start this evening. It is 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock out in the Pacific time zone. We're going to be talking about things west and actually the center of the NAIA volleyball universe. Usually we could be talking about Sioux City, but I think today we have to talk about Butte, Montana. That is the center of the NAIA volleyball world today. So let's start with the number one team in the country, Missouri Baptist, 3-0. After today, got one match in against St. Thomas yesterday, a sweep there over the Bobcats down in Florida. They're in Miami Gardens right now, and they got a sweep against Weber today. Florida Memorial, able to pick up the first set against the Spartans this year. Hadn't given up a set so far, but a 3-1 victory for Missouri Baptist. Number one team in the country coming off the national championship run in 2021. So no doubt they are at the top right now, and they're 3-0. One of only two teams that are 3-0 in the top 15. We'll get to the other one here in just a moment. Jamestown lost one match in all of 21 last year. The Jimmies lost the first match of the season this year to Eastern Oregon. That was up in Butte, and that against the number 12 Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. 3-1 the loss there. Jamestown is currently playing right now against Cornerstone. And this game can actually be seen on the Montana Tech YouTube channel. I'm thinking Cornerstone, Michigan. Montana Tech YouTube channel. And a shout out, by the way, to Montana Tech, the Ore Diggers, keeping everyone who's interested in NAIA volleyball with an opportunity to watch the matches. Had an opportunity to watch just a little bit of the match yesterday between Midland and Providence. And that was a pretty good one. Midland comes away with a victory. We'll get to them in just a moment. Number 3 in the country right now is Bellevue. They are in Caldwell, Idaho, and Bellevue 1-1. Now, there is another match going on against College of Idaho, so we'll get to that maybe a little bit later. Maybe we have a score on that. In the meantime, Bellevue 1-1 on the year, a sweep over Montana Western on Thursday, and then fell to number 7 Corbin today. So Corbin knocking Bellevue from the ranks of the unbeaten. That's pretty much been a theme here. I mean, if you're talking about, last year there was just one team in the country that had just one loss for the entire year. And of course that was Jamestown. And there were different factors that you could talk about, different things that came into play over the course of the season. There were, injuries here and there, still some COVID protocols that went into play early on for some of the teams. And I have to tell you, I will be happy to never, ever say COVID ever again. I don't believe that COVID protocols will come into play at all this year. We'll see how that turns out. I don't want to jinx anything by any stretch of the imagination, but just don't see that happening this year. But it did happen last year. COVID protocols came into play. There were teams that had to, sit out for a week, 2 weeks at a time, and not get to get those games on the docket. There were individual players that had to sit out, that had to be quarantined for whatever reason. It affected their teams. And there was no team that went undefeated. One team, as we mentioned, Jamestown, that had just one loss. It would be amazingly shocking to think that there would be any teams to go undefeated this year, much less even have just one loss over the course of the season. And you're seeing teams just taking shots at one another here in the early going. So number 3, Bellevue 1-1. Number 4, Marion coming into the weekend, and the Knights are yet to play. They don't get the season started until next week, and that will be at home taking on IU East in their first match of the season. Number 5, Midland. Now, there's another one of those Great Plains teams. The GPAC represented twice already in the top 5. Jamestown at number 2, Midland at number 5. Midland 3-1 on the year. Another team, quality team, not undefeated going in 4 games in. As a matter of fact, didn't make it past the first day. A 3-0 victory. Got the sweep against Providence took out the Argos. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. Then swept by Eastern Oregon. Eastern Oregon off to a pretty good start yesterday. We'll also mention the Mountaineers here in just a little bit. So 1-1 yesterday, and then getting the sweep against Dickinson State, another sweep today against Rocky Mountain. So Midland, the Warriors, 3-1 coming in, or actually at the end of today. Talia Flores, a senior, 3.83 kills per set so far through 4 matches. Hope Leinbach, 10.42 assists through 4 matches. And Delaney Valench, 4 digs per set. By the way, Hope Leinbach with a double-double today against Dickinson State, 32 assists, 11 digs. So Flores and Leinbach definitely picking up where they left off last season. Number 6, Park, last year's national runners-up. Park yet to play a match so far. They get things underway in the Park Invitational, taking on Morningside in the first match of the season, and that is next Friday and Saturday, August 26th and 27th. Another match or another team that's in Caldwell, Idaho right now, Corbin. Corbin 1-1 on the year. Took down number 3 Bellevue. We talked about that just a moment ago, and lost to number 23 Southwestern Assemblies of God. SACU with a 5-set victory over Corbin, and that was yesterday. Actually, that was today. The SACU taking on University of St. Catherine right now. They're the number 23 team in the country. They were picked to win the Sooner Athletic Conference this year in the preseason coaches poll, and I think they're a team that I would be very surprised if SAGU was not in the top 15 over the course of the year, and possibly even into the top 10. So you need to watch the Lions there. Anyway, they knocked Corbin from the ranks of the unbeaten, so they're 1-1 on the year. Senior Avery Ridgeway, 4.63 kills per set, and Kialani on tie, 5 even digs per set through the first 2 matches. So that's a look there at the Warriors. Corbin, number 7, 1-1. Northwestern, there's another one of those GPAC teams. Northwestern yet to play a game. Gets its first match of the season Tuesday. That is Tuesday, August 23rd, and taking on Ottawa at home. Ottawa, the Braves, number 25 in the country. Ottawa picked to win the KCAC yet again. A number of those championships under the Braves belt, and they're picked at the top there again. Ottawa, number 25 in the country, going to Northwestern to open the season for the Red Raiders. And then Northwestern travels out to California for the Hope International Tournament, and that'll be August 26th and 27th, taking on St. Catherine in the first match, and then that number 7 Corbin team a little bit later on. So a number 7, number 8 matchup if those rankings hold. And no, they're not going to hold. There's going to be a lot of shakeup in the top 25 when everything is said and done there. Number 9, Viterbo, another team that is out in Butte, Montana, and Big Sky country out there. Viterbo started off the year 2-0, now 2-1. Got victories yesterday, a 3-1 win over Eastern Oregon, 4-set win there. Eastern Oregon, number 12. So number 9 taking down number 12 in the first match of the season, taking down number 13 in the second match of the season. Another 4-set victory, that one over Montana Tech. Today, as Viterbo goes in undefeated, unscathed, Vanguard puts a stop to that. Vanguard with a reverse sweep, as Viterbo had a 2-set lead, and the Lions come back, win the next 3 sets, take the 5-set victory over Viterbo. So Viterbo 2-1, again taking on Northwest Washington a little bit later on today. So Viterbo led 4 players for the V-Hawks with 2.25 kills per set or more. Also that 6-2 look there. Lauren Sabaski, 6.31 assists per set. Maddie Connor, 4.63 assists per set, combining for 10.76 assists per set. So the V-Hawks looking good there and getting some good help from their setters. Now, I was talking about Jamestown taking on Cornerstone right now. Watching this, by the way, shout out again to Montana Tech, to the YouTube channel, keeping things going there. Cornerstone with a 2-1 lead right now over Jamestown. This is one of the late games going on in Butte right now. So this is going on the Montana Tech YouTube channel if you want to turn over there and watch that. If you're watching the live stream tonight, just something to think about. Providence, number 10 team in the country, coming in. The Argos with a big season last year, a historic season for the Argos last year. 28-3 and made quite a run. Providence heading into tomorrow's game against Vanguard, 0-3, have already matched their loss total for 2021 through the first 3 matches of the season. Swept by number 5 Midland early on. We talked about that first match of the year. Then Bushnell, a 5-set loss to Bushnell, and then to Northwest Washington, a 4-set loss. Now, Argos making some moves, looking to improve a little bit as they've gone from set to set and match to match. But if you look at it on paper and you see, wow, they're 0-3, that has to be a shock to anyone thinking about Providence coming in. Of course, the preseason number 10 team in the country. And so the Argos facing a little bit of an uphill climb now, taking on Vanguard tomorrow night, and that's in Butte. So much going on in Butte right now. Over to Ashland, Oregon, where we find the number 11 team in the country, Concordia, the Bulldogs, the only other team in the top 15 that is 3-0. Now, there's one more team that's undefeated. We'll get to that just a little bit. But 3-0, the Bulldogs, CUNE, Concordia, Nebraska, took down Oregon Tech in 4 sets. Southern Oregon, the host school in Ashland, Oregon, in 5 sets. And then Park from Arizona swept them today. So took out the Buccaneers. And Concordia, well, you've got some folks that are just doing what they do there for the Bulldogs. Gabby Nordica, once again, 3.08 kills per set. She's hitting 383 on the year through those 3 matches. Rebecca Gerhardt, 4.17 digs per set, doing her job. But how about this? Junior Bree Birtwistle, 10.00 assists per set, 3.75 digs per set. She's had 3 double-doubles in 3 matches so far this year. You're going to have to remember her name, Bree Birtwistle. Be watching for that name to come up a little bit more often over the course of this season. Of course, the Bulldogs led by Nordiker and Gerhardt, but now Birtwistle getting her name mentioned. Double-doubles, it looked like this: 37-18, 50-10, 33-17. Those are, of course, assists and digs. Starting the year with 3 straight double-doubles. That's fantastic for Coach Bolt, who always does a great job. And friend of the channel, by the way. We always enjoy having Coach Bolt on with us. Well, we're definitely going to need to talk about the Bulldogs a little bit more. And they will be moving in to the top 10. I think there's no doubt in the next ranking whenever that comes out. Number 12, Eastern Oregon. Well, we've talked about the Mountaineers a couple times. Out in Butte right now, 3-1 on the season. Started the year with a loss. That was a 4-set loss to number 9, Viterbo. Talked about that. Then it's been 3 straight wins. A sweep over the number 5 team in the country in Midland. Took down Jamestown in 4 sets, the number 2 team in the country, and then defeated Carroll in 3 sets. So has anyone started with a tougher schedule than that, at least on paper, this year? I don't think so. You get number 9, number 5, number 2 in your first 3 matches, go 2-1 against them, and then pick up another victory along the way. So Eastern Oregon 3-1, led by Presley Jensen, 3.43 kills per set. Alexis McMurtry, 5.22 assists. She's also in that 6'2 look, helped out by Hannah Ledgerward. And then Kara Clayton with 13 blocks so far on the year, that in 4 sets there. So averaging just a little more than 1 block per set there. I think about 1.08. So Eastern Oregon doing well. Number 13 team in the country. We've given the shout out to Montana Tech more than once. So we'll give another shout out right here. How about the Ore Diggers? 1-1 in the year and taking care of business there at home. We talked about Butte being the center of the NAIA volleyball world right now, and I think it is. Still matches going on. Cornerstone still with a 2-1 set lead over Jamestown here in set number 4. Well, Montana Tech, led by Roslyn Zentz, 10.0 assists per set, and Jelena Jablanoff with 4.86 digs per set. So Montana Tech lost to Viterbo in 4 sets, took down Cornerstone, who was receiving votes, by the way, in a sweep a little bit earlier and next facing Bushnell. The number 14 team in the country is Central Methodist. The Eagles yet to play a match so far, though. Next weekend, it'll be the Hampton Inn Classic. Now, the first match is against Tabor. That's going to be in Columbia, but the matches on Saturday, and some big matches too, are going to be in Fayette. And on Saturday, August 27th, taking on Eastern Oregon, who comes to Missouri to take on Central Methodist, and then Ottawa as well. Both teams ranked in the preseason top 25. Finally, this one in West Palm Beach. It's been a while since we've talked about a set taking place or a match in Florida, and there are quite a few of those, West Palm Beach and Miami Gardens. Dakota Wesleyan is 2-0. On Thursday, they defeated Georgetown, swept Georgetown, took down the Tigers 3-0, and then also defeated Columbia International from South Carolina in 4 sets. Now, Columbia International is coming off an NCCAA national championship, made the NAIA tournament, lost the first round, able to go ahead and continue the season there, picked up by the NCCAA in its national tournament, and the Rams swept. 5 victories, come away with a national tournament title as well. So that was a good win for Dakota Wesleyan. And so the folks in Mitchell need to forgive me here if I mess up here. Hannah Reef, 5.14 digs per set. Madeline Else, I know that name, 12 assists per set, 12 even assists per set. Big 2 matches for Madeline Else. And then Addie Dwight. Now, some of these players were mentioned on the All Midwest Sports Net volleyball team in 2021. Addie Dwight was one of those. And check this out, 4.29 kills per set. She's doing it hitting .491 through those 2 sets. And she also has 10 blocks. 10 blocks in 2 matches. So Addie Dwight making some noise right there as well. We mentioned Bree Birtwhistle. Got to talk about her. You have to talk about Addie Dwight. And she's having a good year. A couple more names to mention here over the course of today, things that have gone on here through the first 2 days. Let's talk about Friends. Friends 1-0 on the season. The Falcons are led by Sarah Lazar St. John. Friends comes away with a sweep over Paul Quinn, and Sarah Lazar with 19 kills in 3 sets. That is a 6.33 kills per set average. And did it hitting .593. It's a pretty impressive afternoon for Friends Sarah Lazar St. John. Also, a couple of folks making some noise on defense. Southwestern Assemblies of God, we talked about them a little bit earlier. Tessa Glick, 38 digs for Southwestern Assemblies of God in its earlier match, that against Corbin. And how about this from Mayville State, Natalie Hadrava, 5 matches, 17 sets, and Hadrava with 117 digs. So she is averaging 6.88 digs per set. The 117 digs, that leads the NAIA. I mean, we're just 2 days in. But 6.88 digs per set, also leading the NAIA. That's going to lead the NAIA, I think. I mean, you get a number like that. That's going to be, if that's not at the top, I mean, what is really, I mean, later on in the season. So anyway, big night for NAIA volleyball. Butte still the center of the NAIA volleyball world. That's going to change. It's going to move around just a little bit. Don't forget Sioux City. It always seems to be the place for conversation for NAIA volleyball. And it will again in a couple of weeks. We'll be talking about the Labor Day Classic coming up. So many teams that will be just flocking to Sioux City. And we'll be talking about that volleyball. Lots going on Labor Day weekend. Of course, football season gets underway. Now, football season actually starts realistically in 6 days, but in 8 days for sure. We'll be talking a lot about NAIA football and Division II football, but NAIA football first. Jamestown and Valley City State meet on Thursday night, 6 nights from tonight, and then a host of NAIA games on August 27th. So we'll be talking NAIA football on that Saturday, that Sunday, that Monday, some more, and keeping you up to speed on what's happening. And then, of course, the Division II schedules really get underway after that once we get into the month of September. That Labor Day weekend is going to be big. We will be on the road. So be coming to you streaming from the cell phone for a couple of those things. We'll be talking about those things as well. So lots of volleyball on the way, lots of football on the way, and NAIA Division II, we're your home for those. We like to talk about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond here on Midwest Sportsnet. And I want to encourage you as we wrap up tonight, please take the time to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. We're nearing 1,100 subscribers now, and we definitely are pushing toward that 2,000 mark. And it really does help. Helps the channel. The algorithm is a real thing. And so I just encourage you to take some time and watch the videos, take the time to like the videos, and let us know what you think. Say something in the comments. Tell us who your favorite NAIA volleyball team is. We'll see if we can give them a shout out as well and tell you how they are doing this season. In the meantime, thanks for watching this one tonight. Undefeated, still in the top 15, Dakota Wesleyan, Concordia, and of course the top team in the country in Missouri Baptist. God bless you all. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night. I'm Joey McWilliams. And keep it right here on Midwest Sportsnet.